Yes. So, I'm kind of bored. and, and so I'm watching, whatever the talk is, and as I've pointed out, I use BitChute because BitChute really condenses everything down to a more, if you really want to get down to what is it that people are talking about, because you can use these larger platforms to try to figure out what is it that everybody's talking about, but it's just hold on, what's going on here? But it's just like you're sifting through this massive like ocean, and if you want to take all this shit that everybody's talking about and just condense it down to just the basics, BitChute is a pretty decent resource for that. I mean, so I use BitChute, and because it's all the same. It's all see, this is what's so crazy. It's all the same. And when I say that, like, people will agree. People will be like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's true. It is. All you see is like it's all the same shit. It's all the same. And this is what's interesting. So all of these stories are very predictable. We've already heard them all before. COVIDiodrome, jabs, and they just keep every day, all day, more about COVIDiodrome, more about jabs, more about politics and elections, more about. It's all the same. It is all the same. We already know what's going to be tomorrow's headlines. It's going to be more of the same. Trump, Kamala, all the same stuff. Dude, seriously, like, what do you think they're going to be talking about tomorrow? You think it's going to be something different and new? No, it's going to be flat Earth, reptilians, Illuminati, Freemasons, Zionism, presidential election. It's always going to be the same. How about a week? I can predict what's going to be everything everyone's talking about a week from now. It's going to be all the same thing. Flat Earth, reptilians, UFOs, CERN, Illuminati, Freemasons, Zionism. I can predict what's going to be the stories 2 weeks from now. Zionism, Freemasonry, Illuminati, the elections, like, you name it. Let's just go down the list. Okay, what are they going to be talking about a month from now? Or 2 months from now, I can already predict it's going to be the same. COVIDiodrome, jabs, jabs, Zionism, politics, Freemasonry, Illuminati, flat Earth, fake moon landings. This is just like, it's always the same. I know what's going to be in the next 30 minutes to an hour. I can predict what's going to be the big thing everybody's talking about. 30 minutes to an hour from now. It's going to be, guess, Zionism, Jays, jabs, COVIDiodrome, jabs, well, of course, P. Diddy, always the Hollywood scandals, political scandals, and how it all ties into Zionism or Freemasonry or Illuminati. Like it's always the same. What are the Holly weirdos doing? What are the politicians doing? How does it relate to Zionism, Freemasonry, jabs, Covidiodrome, and what is it going to be 3 months from now? Same. Covidiodrome, jabs, what's going on with the Holly weirdos, Bill Gates, jabs, it's all just the same. What's going to be, what was it a year ago? The same thing as it is today. What was it 2 years ago? The same thing as it is today. What was it 3 years ago? Same thing as it is today. What's it going to be a year from now? Same thing as it is today. What's going to be 2 years from now? Same thing as today. What's going to be 3 years from now? Same as it is today. You don't think that there's other subjects going on than what we've been reported to on all over the internet about? Like, is the same thing a year ago as it is today. Same thing 2 years ago as it is today. Same thing 3 years ago as it is today. Same thing 5 years ago as it is today. Covidiodrome, jabs, Covidiodrome, Zionism, Freemason, Illuminati, jabs, Holly weirdos, politicians, jabs, Covidiodrome, politicians, Freemasonry, Illuminati. You don't think that there's anything else going on? And like I said, like what's being reported today? The same thing that was being reported 5 years ago. Covidiodrome, jabs, Zionism, Freemasonry, Illuminati. You don't think there's anything else going on? What's going to be the story a year from now? Same thing. Covidiodrome, Zionism, Freemasonry, Covidiodrome, jabs. Nothing else is going on. What do you think they're going to be talking about 2 hours from now? Covidiodrome, jabs, Zionism, Freemasonry, Illuminati, jabs, Covidiodrome, jabs, Freemasonry, jabs, Illuminati, nothing else has been going on this whole time, all these years where all we hear about is Covidiodrome, Zionism, jabs, Freemasonry, Illuminati. Political intrigue, Hollywood scandal, jabs, Covidiodrome, Hollywood scandal, political intrigue, Hollywood scandal, Covidiodrome, jabs, Zionism, Freemasonry, political scandal, political intrigue, Hollywood scandal, Covidiodrome, jabs. Dude, I mean, like, only the most brain dead people believe that that's all that's been going on all these years is the same thing. Covidiodrome, jabs, political intrigue, Hollywood scandal, Zionism, Illuminati. Nothing else. There's nothing else going on. And so if you think that there's nothing else going on, well, then you know what the story is going to be an hour from now. You know what the story is going to be a year from now. You know what the story is going to be, 3 months from now. You know what the story is going to be 3 days from now. It's going to be the same. Covidiodrome, jabs, Illuminati, Zionism, political scandal, Hollywood intrigue, Hollywood scandal, jabs, Covidiodrome, jabs, Zionism, J's, it's the J, Zionism, jab, Covidiodrome, and you believe that that's all, you know, that's justified. Like that's not propaganda. That's not, people aren't trying to fucking fuck your head. No. And so you believe that that's what's all the important stuff. There ain't nothing important going on. It's all just COVIDiodrome, jabs, Zionism, jabs, Zionism, COVIDiodrome, you know, Hollywood scandal, political intrigue, jab, COVIDiodrome, Zionism, Freemasons, Illuminati, Freemasonry, reptilians, UFOs, jabs, COVIDiodrome. Like, you don't think there's anything else going on. You don't think that all this story that has been the same 5 years ago as it is today, as it's going to be 5 years from now, that it's not all just propaganda to divert people's attention away from other things that might be going on. Yeah, so what's the story right now? What has been posted? So this video is 11 minutes long. And if I'm using BitChute to kind of condense the talk down, because there's so much talk, let's just condense all this, whatever is the big flavor of the day everyone's talking about, since it's all over on YouTube and it's all over on Rumble and it's all over on Odyssey and everywhere else, including BitChute. Well, let's use BitChute to just condense it all down into one thing. Because we already know what Facebook is saying. Trump is Hitler, Trump is Hitler, Trump is Hitler. That's what Facebook is saying. That's what all the any liberal platforms, you know, Trump is Hitler, Trump is Hitler, Trump is Hitler. It's all just Trump is Hitler. So we already know what's going on there. And YouTube is largely that, you know, of course. So let's go to something that's maybe less predictable. Well, it's not less predictable by much, because what in this 11 minutes that I've been 12 minutes that I've been doing this video, what do you think has been posted? COVIDiodrome, jabs, COVIDiodrome, Zionism, you know, Freemasonry, you know, political intrigue, Hollywood scandal, jab, political intrigue, Zionism, you know, jab, COVIDiodrome. That's all that's been posted in the last 12 minutes that I've been doing this video. And what's gonna be the headline tonight? COVIDiodrome, jab, COVIDiodrome, political intrigue, Hollywood scandal, you know, Freemasonry, Illuminati, jab, Zionism, anyone, Zionism. And so you're buying what they're selling here, huh? You're buying what they're selling, because you know the majority of the big stories, all these channels that are putting all this stuff out, they're all making 5 and 6 figures a year, putting out the same story this whole time, the same story. They're bringing in are you making 5 and 6 figures a year just like posting stuff on the social media platforms? Because they are. All the people that have been blasting these supposed headline stories that are all the same 5 years ago as they are today, as they will be 5 years from now, it's all the same. And it's all the same story. And all these people blasting it all over that are dominating all the narratives online, they're all bringing in 6 figures a year, putting out this same story over and over, all day, every day, for over a decade. Just look in the last 10 years. And it's going to be the same. Next year is going to be the same. I can predict what the stories are going to be a year from now. COVIDiodrome, jab, COVIDiodrome, Zionism. And then these people that they don't want to question these narratives at all, because they believe in this internet bullshit. They believe that, you know, they're just as bad as the MSM zombies, only they're staring at the internet instead of MSM. They believe it, and so they're going to try to defend all of what I'm saying. They're going to try to defend this, like, well, the reason that they're talking about all this same stuff that you're pointing out is because that's what's going on. So there's nothing else going on that could be equally as important or even more important. Nope, not even a possibility, no. That they're intentionally sweeping, constantly running damage control and sweeping under the rug using stories like COVIDiodrome, jab, COVIDiodrome. Political intrigue. Oh, Hollywood scandal, jab, Covidio drum, Covidio, Zionism, jab, Covidio drum, political intrigue, Hollywood scandal, Freemasons, Illuminati, get them while they're hot, get all these popular, trendy, fucking, flavor of the day and week and month stories while they're hot. They're all the same. They've been the same. They were the same yesterday as they're going to be tomorrow. They're the same last year as they're going to be next year. It's all the same. And anybody that defends it, it's like, how can you defend? You're just going to continue to defend this as if there couldn't possibly be anything else going on, that they're using these stories to run cover and run damage control, to hide shit from you is easily as important as this same old recycled headline that they've been pumping out to the masses for the last 10 years and are going to continue for the next 10 years. Yeah. Barney said, the masses are controlled through fashion and trends. And then people try to debunk it by saying, well, Barnés, he was part of the Mockingbird thing, and he was part of a Paperclip, and he was this, and he was that. Well, maybe he was a whistleblowing when he said that. He was just a whistleblowing, covertly whistleblowing, and said, the masses are controlled through fashion and trends. Well, what's the trendy story of yesteryear? It's the same as today, and it's the same going to be next year. And that anybody could defend all this is, well, the reason that is because the truth is popular. That's why I keep bringing up that movie, that scene in the movie Running Man where Arnold Schwarzenegger's character is laughing. He's like, the truth hasn't been, I don't know if you've noticed this at all. The truth isn't popular. I mean, all these people defend the same old tired story that they've been running every day, all day for a fucking decade. Covidio drum, jabs, Zionism, Illuminati, Freemasons, political intrigue, Hollywood scandal. There couldn't be anything else going on. See, they know that the public, people like you, can use all these hot flavor of the day subjects to avoid talking about important things. Well, there's no need to talk about that because right now, right now we've got a genocide happening, so we don't have time to talk about X, Y, Z. And it's the same story tomorrow. Well, we're not going to have time tomorrow to talk about XYZ because we got a genocide taking place here. And that was the story last year. Well, we don't have time to talk about XYZ because we got a genocide going on here. And that's going to be the same story a year from now. Well, we don't have time to talk about XYZ because we got a genocide going on here. Remember what were they saying in 2019? Everybody's dropping like flies. They're wheeling out body bags by the fucking thousands in New York into and it's the same story. Oh, everybody's dropping like flies from the medicine, from the flu medicine. They're just dropping like flies everywhere. We don't have time to talk about XYZ. They've been kicking the can on XYZ since before me and you were even born, and they've been doing it the whole time up until now. And what do I predict is going to be tomorrow? The exact same thing. Kick XYZ down the road. Kick the can of XYZ down the road. Why? Because there's a genocide happening. People are just dropping like flies all over the place from, insert fucking whatever hot flavor of the day, week, month topic is what everybody's talking about. Everyone is controlled through fashion and trends. So there is nothing else going on but Covidiodrome and jabs and Zionism and Freemasonry and Illuminati and political intrigue and Hollywood scandal. There's nothing else going on. There hasn't been all this time, all these years, and there won't be all these years into the future because it's going to be the same story on and on. It's always going to be the same. Look at all the Hollywood scandal going on. Look at all the political intrigue and scandal going on. Look at the Covideodrome for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for fucking 4.5, 5 years. You know, nothing else could possibly be going on at all. And if you agree that I could be onto something, and there is stuff that's just as big or bigger than whatever the headline of the day, week, or month is, try talking about it on a channel or even in comments threads. You'll get completely ignored and dogpiled. That's all that'll happen. Even though you're right and you are telling the truth, well, so then what does that say about the truther community? If you're right and what you are saying is the truth, but when you put it out there, nobody wants to hear it because all anybody wants to talk about is Covideodrome, jabs, Zionism, Freemasonry, Illuminati, political intrigue, Hollywood scandal. Nothing else is going on, huh? Again, if you talk about what anything else that's going on, it's not popular because everyone is controlled through fashion and trends. Covideodrome is trendy, man. I mean, that's like 24/7 Covideodrome since 2019. 5 years, nothing but 24/7 Covideodrome. It couldn't be that that's being used to cover up tons of shit. Anyways, don't listen to me because I'm not popular. I'm not popular in trending and stuff. I only have 2 subscribers, so whatever, right?